I reckon this is going to be a cracking game, and I hope it lives up to expectation. We're at the SCG. It's going to be interesting to see what type of pitch they prepare, and I have seen the SCG have quick, bouncy pitches, but India look as though they've become accustomed to the conditions over in Australia. They're starting to play well. The only difference between the two teams is the batting depth. Australia bat very deep. So Mitchell Johnson's coming in at 9. Mitchell Starc can handle the bat out 10. So that allows Australia to go a lot harder than India out the top of the order. And that's what Finch and Warner are there to do the job early, is to go after the Indian bowlers. So if Warner and Finch get away, that puts the Indian bowlers back on the attack. Whereas India, they're batting, they rely on the top 5. Rayner's had his issues against Australia in Australian conditions. So it's going to be interesting to see how he performs tomorrow against Australia. But the other four, or the other top 4 batsmen of India, I've been very impressed with their work rate. One of them's been able to bat through the innings in most of these games, and one of them will need to bat through the innings tomorrow. When we go down to their bowling, Australia are going in with 3 pace bowlers with 3 all-rounders in Faulkner, Maxwell and Watson, so they're going to get 20 overs out of those 3 players, whereas India are relying on 2 spinners and 3 quicks, and Rayner to bowl some overs. So the bowling is slightly different. India are going in without a left-hander, and if they were watching the other day when Riaz was going out to the Australians, he was bowling out their ribs from left arm over the wicket. I'm expecting one of those Indian quicks to come around the wicket and target the ribs of the likes of Clark and Watson. So expect some fireworks tomorrow. And the other thing that I'm a little bit worried about, concerned about, is Faulkner came out in the media and said there's going to be words said tomorrow. Now, last time he said that I can remember was against the West Indies in the T20 final over at Bangladesh, and the West Indies annihilated us. So hopefully the boys have got their heads screwed on and aren't going out there too chest out and too verbal. That's a good thing, and that's a good thing for India. But to me, that they've been able to stay away from Australia in this particular tournament, start to develop a better plan on Australian conditions, and I expect the way that they go about it tomorrow, they're going to be a little bit more confident than what they were during that tri-series. And don't forget, some of those tests that they played against Australia were close contests, and they nearly overran Australia a couple of times. So they shouldn't be. They still should have confidence that they can beat Australia. And just because they haven't won a game on Australian conditions, the odds are going to favour India in this particular match that they should win. Not so much when we look at the teams on paper, they're so evenly matched, but the odds, somewhere along the line, India are going to have to beat Australia again on Australian soil. Look, it's very hard. I think Stark's been bowling extremely well. Johnson, I think it just comes down to Australia's batting depth. They'll go hard early. If they lose early wickets, then the likes of Clark, Smith and Watson will try and steady the ship. And then you've got the powerhouse of Maxwell, Faulkner and Haddon to come in, and Johnson to finish the innings off. So Australia have got that batting depth where they can go hard early. If they get in trouble, they can consolidate with that middle order. And then if they get back into the contest and get to that 35th over, the 40th over, then they've got the likes of Maxwell, Faulkner and Haddon to come in and put a formidable total on. Whereas if you look at the Indian batting lineup, if Australia get 2 or 3 early wickets, then they rely heavily on Rayner and Dhoni and Rahane to make sure that they bat for the rest of the innings, because they've got a longer tail than what Australia has. Although Jadeja and Ashwin can bat, they're not as prolific as the likes of Maxwell, Faulkner, Haddon and Johnson.